Regret. It's a word that hits like a punch to the gut, knocking the wind right out of you. No matter who you are or where you come from, it's the kind of thing that gnaws at you when you're lying awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering why in the heck you made that call, didn't take that opportunity, or said that stupid thing you can't take back. It's the times you replay your life like a movie reel, recalling everything you never attempted, never chased down, as it continues to effortlessly bore its way through you. You think, only if time machines were real, I'd go back and do it right. But this isn't a sci-fi flick or an H.G. Wells novel. Reload, reset, and replay doesn't exist here. Regret has a way of creeping in, transforming from a fleeting thought to something darker, more persistent. It's the gray cloud that hangs over you, the one you can't shake, and it's as much a part of being human as breathing. We all have it, we all hate it, and yet we can't escape it. A brutal teacher. It doesn't show up with a friendly pat on the back. No, it crashes into you like a freight train when you least expect it. 1 minute you're coasting through life, and the next you are blindsided by the realization of what could have been. There are layers, like an onion you can't stop peeling, each one more pungent than the last. It can be a slow burn, forming gradually, where we think back to that one moment where we could have done things differently. And suddenly, we are caught in a whirlwind of disappointment, guilt, maybe even a little self-loathing. It's the aftertaste of choices we wish we could wash away, but can't. And it does linger. This isn't just a bad feeling. It's a messy, complex cocktail of human emotion. And we're gonna dive in right here to what makes it tick. What if I'd gone left instead of right? What if I'd said yes instead of no? Regret is rooted in our mistakes, missed opportunities, and roads not taken. But here's the thing, it's not all bad. In fact, it can be a powerful tool if you know how to wield it. It's in those dark corners of regret that we find the lessons worth learning. It's where we confront the reality of our choices and the core of who we are as human beings. In fact, there have been many studies, specifically Cornell University, who has published multiple articles on the development and mediation of regret and how, where it develops in our minds. Science tells us that regret is concocted in the orbitofrontal cortex, a little spot in the brain where decisions are made, where we weigh risk and reward. It's funny, we are all wired the same, yet some of us are haunted more than others. Those of us who spend too much time living in the past, beating ourselves up, or dreaming of what could have been, we are the ones most prone to fall into regret's trap. Regret doesn't just hit you over what you've done. It also nails you for what you didn't do. The opportunities you let slip through your fingers. Categorized into two types, regret of action and regret of inaction. You regret the things you've done, like that hurtful comment you blurted out in a moment of anger, or the stupid financial decision that left you broke. But more often, and this is confirmed by science, it is the things you didn't do that will haunt you most. The relationships you never pursued, the dreams you never chased. These are the regrets that linger, that keep you up at night, that fill your head with what ifs. Yet, regret doesn't have to be your enemy. If you let it, it can push you towards something better. It can force you to look at your life with a critical eye and make changes. Take the guy who regrets letting his health slide. He might turn that regret into motivation to get fit, to eat better, to live longer. Or the person who regrets a relationship gone sour. They might learn from their mistakes and become a better communicator and better partner in the future. It's all about how you interpret it, how you let it shape you. Regret shows us what we care about, what we value, what we want out of life. It's a reminder that we are engaged, that we give a damn about how our story ends. But here's the real question. What if you could cut off regret before it even starts? What if you could take those lessons from the past and use them to build a future where regret has little to no place. It all comes down to the choices you make today that set the stage for tomorrow. In her memoir, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, Bronnie Ware recalls her experiences as a caregiver to individuals in need of palliative care, with many patients coping with the expectation of limited time left on Earth. This type of care aims to improve the quality of life for those receiving it. Who on our planet is better suited for advice on the subject of regret than those who are limited on time? After all, what gives value, from a monetary sense, in its simplest form, is supply and demand. Life is in limited supply based on time, and we are looking to get the most out of it, demand. If we can figure out how this cornerstone puzzle piece fits into our own life, I'd say we would be in pretty good shape. Here are the most common 5 regrets she learned in her work. Number 1. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. This is the most common regret. When time is limited, it levitates clarity in hindsight, realizing just how many dreams went unfulfilled. This reminds me of a quote by Dr. Miles Monroe. The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled. It is important for us to realize we have untapped potential within. Number 2. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Not all, but predominantly voiced by male patients, stained from the thought of missed experiences and missed opportunities due to divulging so much time to their work. We all need work and income to ultimately survive, but at what cost? Is it in exchange for maintaining healthy relationships and family life outside of work? If it is possible to do something that makes us happier and allows us the time to be part of what's most important in life, then we will be on the right track. Number 3. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Our feelings are never meant to be left in a glass bottle, thrown out to sea to be found by a future dystopia in hopes of uncovering how things got so terrible. They are meant to exist in the present. Living a life true to ourselves means not holding back. Be vulnerable in life and be bold. We will go further and be healthier by being who we truly are, not just forcing ourselves into the coffin-like constraints of society that we place ourselves in. Number 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. When the hourglass is running thin and we see the final doorstep in near horizon, it only makes sense that all physical and material aspects of the world begin to wash away. What matters is our connections with those closest to us. Many voice that this is an area not maintained, that washed away with the tides. What was once a healthy, reciprocal relationship eroded over time to be nothing more than a starving beach. Number 5. I wish I had let myself be happier. We should realize that everything just mentioned begins with a choice. We can choose our perspectives in life. Looking at self-doubt, self-criticism, and negativity square in the eye and saying, I'm going to be happy today. We greatly possess the faculties to right our own ships. And it is about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, where chance, risk, and authenticity are our guides. So how do you deal with this beast called regret? The first step is acceptance. Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, it sucks. But guess what? You're human. We are all walking disasters in our own way, and that's okay. Accepting that you are flawed is the first step in not letting regret run your life. Here's what I know right now. Regret doesn't have to be a one-way ticket to the inferno. If you face it head on, and sooner the better, it can be a powerful motivator. That sting you feel when you think about the past. That's the push you need to do better next time. Maybe you screwed up your finances, so now you're seeking out knowledge on the topic of money management, only to discover new skills you didn't know you had. Maybe you blew up a marriage, and now you're diving into the vast well of relationship science and psychology in effort to grow and evolve. Regret can really kick your motor into gear, prompting a metamorphosis into a version not yet seen. There are some tricks to manage regret, like flipping the script. Instead of wallowing in what went wrong, focus on what you learned from it. Turn that pain into a lesson, something you can use to fuel your next move. And if there's a chance to fix what you regret, go for it. Make amends, say you're sorry, or take that leap you didn't before. Sometimes the best way to kill regret is to do something about it. Mindfulness is another tool in the kit. It's about staying in the now, not getting sucked into the past or worried about the future. When you can look at your regret without letting it consume you, you are halfway to winning the battle. Now here's the twist. Regret, for all its pain, is also a sign of life. It means you care. It's proof that you are in the game, that you are not settling for mediocrity. It's a sign that you've got values, dreams, and a vision for something better. That's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to embrace. You're not just coasting through existence. You are engaged, you are thinking, you are striving. If you feel regret, it's because you know there's a better 2.0 version of yourself out there, somewhere, and you're chasing it. Know that when you're signed up to ride this Ferris wheel of life, regret is part of the deal. It's going to hurt and it's going to stick with you, but it doesn't have to define you. By understanding it, facing it, and learning from it, you can turn regret from a dead weight into a powerful force for change. It's all about making peace with your past, using it to fuel your future, and knowing that every step of the way, you're becoming a better version of yourself. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, isn't it?